Hello. Today's story we're going to be reading The Three Kingdoms. Once upon a time there lived an old man with his old wife. They had three sons, Igorushko the Nimble, Mishka the Bandy-Legged, and Ivashko, Lion the Stove. Their father and mother wanted to marry them off. They sent the eldest son to find a bride for himself. He walked and walked for a long time. Wherever he looked at the girls, he could not choose a bride for himself because none was to his liking. Then he met a three-headed dragon on the road and was frightened. The dragon said to him, "Where are you going, my good fellow?" Igorushko answered, "I have set out to get married, but I cannot find a bride." The dragon said, "Come with me. I will lead you. We shall see whether you can get a bride." They walked and walked until they came to a big stone. The dragon said, "Turn up the stone. There you will get what you wish." Igorushko tried to turn it up, but he could not move it. The dragon said to him, "There is no bride for you." Igorushko returned home and told his father and mother what had happened. Again, father and mother pondered over what they should do, and they sent their middle son, Mishka the Bandy-Legged, to find a bride. Same thing happened to him. The old man and his wife thought and wondered what to do. For if they sent Ivashko, Lion the Stove, he surely would not accomplish anything. However, Ivashko, Lion the Stove, began to beg for a chance to have a look at the dragon. His father and mother at first would not let him go, but later they consented. Ivashko, too, walked and met the three-headed dragon. The dragon asked him, "Whither are you going, my good fellow?" Ivashko answered, "My brothers wanted to get married, but could not find a bride. Now it is my turn." "Come with me, then. I will show you whether you can get a bride." And so the dragon went along with Ivashko, and they came to the same stone, and the dragon told him to turn up the stone from its place. Ivashko took hold of it, and the stone rolled off. There was a hole in the ground, and near it some thongs were fixed. The dragon said, "Ivashko, sit on the thongs, and I will lower you. Then you will come to the three kingdoms. In each of them you will see a maiden." Ivashko was lowered and started on his way. He walked and walked until he came to the Copper Kingdom. He entered it and saw a beautiful maiden. She said, "Welcome, rare guest. Come in and sit down where you see a smooth place, and tell me whence you come and whither you are going." "Ah, fair maiden," said Ivashko, "you have not given me food nor drink, yet you ask me questions." The maiden placed all sorts of food and drink on the table. Ivashko ate and drank and told her that he was seeking a bride for himself. "And if I find favor with you," he said, "please be my wife." "No, my good man," said the maiden, "travel on still farther. Then you will come to the Silver Kingdom. There lives a maiden even more beautiful than I." She gave him a silver ring. The gallant youth thanked the maiden for her hospitality, said farewell to her, and went on. He walked and came to the Silver Kingdom. He entered it and saw a maiden even more beautiful than the first. He asked a blessing and made obeisance. "I salute you, fair maiden," she answered. "Welcome, strange youth. Sit down and boast about who you are and whence, and for what business you have come here." "Ah, fair maiden," said Ivashko, "you have not given me food nor drink, yet you are asking me questions." The maiden set the table and brought all kinds of food and drink. Ivashko ate and drank as much as he wanted, then told her that he had to set out to find a bride, and asked her to be his wife. She said to him, "Go on still farther. Beyond there is a golden kingdom, and in it lives a maiden even more beautiful than I." And she gave him a golden ring. Ivashko said farewell to her and went on. He walked and came to the Golden Kingdom. He entered it and saw a maiden more beautiful than the others. So he asked a blessing and saluted the maiden, as is becoming. The maiden began to ask whence he came and whither he was going. "Ah, fair maiden," he said, "you have not given me food nor drink, yet you ask me questions." So she put all kinds of food and drink on the table, the best imaginable. Ivashko, Lion the Stove, treated himself amply to everything and began to tell his story. "I am on my way to find a bride. If you wish to be my wife, come with me." The maiden consented and gave him a golden ball. They set out together. They walked and came to the Silver Kingdom, where they took the maiden with them. And again they walked and came to the Copper Kingdom. There, too, they took the maiden with them. Then all of them went to the hole from which they had to climb out, and they found thongs hanging there. And the elder brothers were already standing by the hole, about to climb into it to find Ivashko. Now Ivashko seated the maiden from the Copper Kingdom on the thongs and shook them. The brothers pulled and lifted out the maiden and lowered the thongs again. Then Ivashko seated the maiden from the Silver Kingdom, and the brothers pulled her out and set down the thongs. Finally, he seated the maiden from the Golden Kingdom, and the brothers pulled her out too, and dropped back the thongs. Ivashko now seated himself on them. His brothers pulled him too, pulled and pulled, and when they saw it was Ivashko, they thought, if we pull him out, he might refuse to give us a maiden. And they cut the thongs, and Ivashko fell down. Well, there was nothing he could do. He wept and wept, and then went on. He walked and walked, and this is what he saw. On a tree trunk sat an old man as big as an inch, with a beard a cubit long. Ivashko told him everything that had happened to him, and how. The old man instructed him to go farther. You will come to a little house, he said, and in the house there lies a man so tall that he stretches from corner to corner, and you must ask him how to get to Russia. So Ivashko walked and came to the little house. He entered it and said, Mighty giant, do not kill me. Tell me how to get to Russia. Fie, fie, said the giant. No one asked these Russian bones to come here. They have come by themselves. We'll go beyond 30 lakes. There a little house stands on a chicken leg, and in the house lives Baba Yaga. She has an eagle, and he will take you out. The good youth walked and came to the little house. He entered it, and Baba Yaga cried, Fie, 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 Russian bones, why have you come here? Then Ivashko said, Little grandmother, I came by order of the mighty giant to ask for your powerful eagle, that he might take me up to Russia. Go to the garden, said Baba Yaga. At the gate there stands a sentry. Take the keys from him and go beyond 7 doors. As you open the last door, the eagle will flutter his wings. If you are not frightened by him, sit on him and fly. Only take some meat with you, and each time he looks back, give him a piece. Ivashko did as Baba Yaga told him. He sat on the eagle, and off they flew. They flew and flew. The eagle looked back, and Ivashko gave him a piece of meat. They flew, and he gave meat to the eagle often. And now he had given the eagle all the meat he had, and there was still a long distance to fly. The eagle looked back, and there was no meat. So the eagle plucked a piece of flesh from Ivashko's shoulder, ate it, and dragged him out through the same hole to Russia. When Ivashko got down off the eagle spat out the piece of flesh and told him to put it back onto his shoulder. Ivashko did so, and his shoulder healed. He came back home, took the maiden of the Golden Kingdom from his brothers, and they began to live happily together and are still living.